Two thermometers A and B are calibrated at sea level and high altitude respectively. We use the boiling point and freezing point of water to calibrate them. Then they are subsequently used to measure different temperature at sea level. Okay, so which of the following is correct? So let's understand what does it mean by calibrating these two thermometers at uh, the sea level and high altitude. So for the sea level one, right, we have the freezing point. Suppose it's at this temperature. So at this temperature, right, I will give it 0 marking. Okay, and then right, we go on and bring the water to boiling point, right? So the mercury level will rise, and suppose right, this is the boiling point. So we mark this out as 100. Okay, and in between, right, we will divide it by 100 parts. So the markings here, right, will be of a certain distance. Okay, it will be 1/100 of the height difference of the mercury column. Yeah. For the high altitude one, right, the water actually boils at a lower temperature. Freezing point is still the same, it's still 0, but because the water boils at a lower temperature, so relative to the other guy, it could be just at this temperature. Okay, and it boils. We didn't know that, so we will have marked this out as the boiling point, and we'll still label this as 100. But here, right, in dividing this by 100 unit, the divisions here will have been smaller compared to the other one. This will also mean, right, the division all the way in the negative region also smaller than the other guy. Okay, now suppose, right, we have a temperature which is somewhere at room temperature. So somewhere at room temperature, right, then you will have mercury column this high. For this guy, right, you'll read a certain value, but for the other guy, right, you'll still read, the mercury column will still be at the same height, but here, right, you'll read a higher value, because, right, the entire scale is being more squashed downwards towards the 0. So comparing these two reading, right, this reading maybe at room temperature will reach 25, maybe here, right, you'll read something like 30 plus. Okay, for example, so it will be higher than normal, but it could also be reading a sub-zero temperature. So for sub-zero temperature, right, the mercury column rise to here. For this guy, right, you also rise to the same height. Yeah, because the mercury column will just respond to the temperature in the same way. But, right, you look at the marking on the thermometer now, right, this is a certain number of marking below the 0. Let's say this is -5. Then on this one, right, because the markings are more close to each other, so here may read something like -6. Yeah, therefore, right, for the thermometer B, it may read higher or lower temperature depending on what temperature we are measuring. Yeah, so the answer will be C.